station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Hello to all of our viewers and listeners out there. You are watching INCRadio Sacramento.
Whenever we need him, he's always there. There's no one else who does what he can do. Each time we seek him, oh, he always cares. Don't ever fear, he's just a prayer away.
And we are in. Here we are. Hello, viewers and listeners, and welcome to the official launch of INCRadio Sacramento. We're so glad that you're able to tune in with us today. Of course, before we begin anything, we would like to give our special thank you to our brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister, brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, our CESB president and CFO coordinator, brother Arnel Solano, our INC radio station manager, brother Pedro de la Cruz Jr., our district minister, brother Ray de Mesa, our assistant district minister, brother Nimo Panteleon, our CFO advisor, brother Mark Mariano, our multimedia bureau advisor, and of course, our Kuya Manly Andaya, our executive producer, and the whole INC radio team. And of course, again, all of you for joining and tuning in today. Um, there's a lot of things we're going to talk about today, of course, in our little jam-packed show. We are going to talk a little bit about cars, and we have our Ate Care and also our Ate Pauline with us today. So I want to take an opportunity to let them introduce themselves. And before they do, I forgot I have not introduced myself. My name is Lisa, Lisa Mitchell, and I'm going to take it over and let Ate Pauline introduce herself.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all those tuning in to INCRadio Sacramento. I am kind of scared for this topic, honestly. I am from the local congregation of Sacramento, but I am excited to learn about cars, to talk about cars, and hopefully learn some tips on how to maintain cars. Right, Atike?
Hello everyone. Yes, I am Carolyn Shank from Sacramento. We are here this afternoon, and yes, we are talking about cars. It is going to be, let's see, it's going to be the girls' version, right? The girls' version of the cars, right? We're going to do our best. We're going to go out here and we're going to represent the cars, right?
The cars.
The cars. So we will let you know what we know, what we can at least we'll let you know what we know and give as much tips as we can. I do want to say that the weather out here is beautiful. It's beautiful out here. It's got clouds. It is 44. I believe it is 44 degrees Fahrenheit. It could be 17 degrees Celsius, so it's not too bad. It's really nice out here. And yeah, so I'm going to pass it back to you, Lisa, and continue on the show.
Thank you. And as you can see today, a lot of familiar faces are joining us. And of course, we hope that you will enjoy everything we're going to discuss and share today. As Ate Pauline mentioned, we're not as knowledgeable about cars. I'm gonna say I am the person that does just bring my car to the dealership to have everything taken care of for me. But I do, of course, whatever we share, we are so open to all of you sharing in the chat, letting us know your own feedback and what you know. And just again, this is the time for us to come together and to learn something new. Okay. So I do want to actually, while at the care's preparing there, I know none of you can really see it yet, but
That's
Ate Pauline, okay, like what is the most that you've actually done with your own car? Like in terms of
like
maintenance, right?
not like at the shop, like me taking care of it myself. Um,
Yeah.
cleaning the car. Actually, okay,
See
no,
the
no, no.
same.
I put air, like air pressure, like air in the wheels. Like, does that count? Yeah. But other
Yeah.
than that, everything else is in the shop. Like oil change, any like tire rotation, that is there, right?
Yeah, and I have a distinct memory from when I was little. With some of the older cars, you have to check. Sometimes you just check like the oil level.
Mhm.
So my dad, we had like a really old van, and I swear every week he would pull out the level just to see it, and I would just stand there and watch him,
Yes.
like like a nice little daddy's girl. And I'm just like watching him, like, what are you doing? He's like checking the
The
level of the
oil.
oil. Yeah, because back, some with the older cars, the oil kind of it goes by faster,
Yes,
right? The
that's
older
true.
cars. Now we have what, synthetic oil. So I do know some extent, right? Like I know there's a difference in oil that's
Yes.
used in cars. So that's something that I do know and that I did learn. Um, but I do want to take a moment to see, is there any how's it going in the live chat? Who do we have in the live chat at the
We
moment?
have actually, there are a couple of people there saying hi already. The first commenter for today, aside from Care, okay, because she was first, we have over there Cocker Spurring It, who says, "Good afternoon to all viewers. We love watching INC Radio Sacramento." And of course, our avid viewer, Ka Alanita Kaunowski, who's saying, "NCL Sacramento. Hello, everyone viewing from the local congregation of Sacramento." Thank you for always tuning in every week. We also have a couple more. We do have Casalso who's there who's saying happy viewing from Reno and Carson City. And also Kaleni Paringit who's hashtag NCL underscore Vallejo. So there's a lot. And also Kamark, he's there on the chat also as well. Hello for Kamark.
Hello,
Uh,
Comark. Hello,
yeah.
everyone. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of people, even just from us. We do, like you said, there are some of our regulars that are there, and we're always so happy that they're here to join us. I do want to say that I'm really curious. I know, again, none of you can really see Ate Care right now, but I'm really curious. Ate Care, what's happening over there?
Yes, yes. So you know that our topic today is about car tips. So I do have some car tips for you out there as well. Um, I have two cars that are behind me, and they're at different years, different ages as well. So you'll know that I have a smaller car here who's a little bit not older, but it does have the regular engine, as we call it, and the things that you do have to check, as well as we have a newer version where we're not going to check. So, do we want to dive into this right now, or do you guys have more comments out there that you want to go ahead and say hello to before we dive into our discussion? No? Okay. Okay. So I guess we're going to
They're
just go
ready for you,
ahead.
Atake. They're ready for you.
Oh,
They
they're
want to
ready
hear
for
it.
me. Okay. So out here, there was like there's cars. We need cars to get to our worship service. We need cars to get to where we need to be, to our activities, but we have to maintain the car as well, right? So us for us, I like to tell everyone, make sure you always have gas, right? Make sure you always have gas, because sometimes we don't look at the gauge, we forget to look at the dash, and we forget that when that goes down to E, you need to put gas, right? And if you don't have that significant other who's not going to put gas for you, you ladies, you got to put gas, right? You got to put gas in the car yourself. Super simple. Make sure that it is gassed up, ready to go. Make sure your cars are clean, right? Because you don't want things flying around when you are driving. I do want to show you how to check an oil for those that are out there that doesn't know how to check an oil. So we're gonna go to the old, a little bit older car, right? We're gonna go to this older car. It is a 2012. 2012. So usually the older cars, they have a dipstick. We call it a dipstick, right? So this one has a dipstick right here, right? Usually has a ring right here. We're gonna pull it, right? We're gonna clean it up because we don't know what it is. We're gonna put it right back in somewhere. Hold on. Kind of nervous here. I don't usually do this. So
You look good,
we put it back
Atake. You
in,
look
right?
good.
We put it back right inside, and we're trying to see where the oil is at. So we're gonna bring it up, and it looks like it's low. It's low. It's low on oil. So we're gonna use some oil in this car as well. So, so that's one way that you can check the oil on. Well, they do. That is pretty normal for that. Now, when we go to the newer car, we're gonna pan this way. Not sponsored, okay? It's not sponsored. We're just gonna we're just gonna cover that. It's not sponsored. So then for this one, it's a little bit more newer model. So there is no dipstick on this model, okay? So there's no dipstick. Everything here is electronic. So actually, this car tells me when I need an oil change. It tells me on my dash service is needed. So really, I don't have to worry about this car because again, this car, if you go this way, if you go to this car, this model, you only change the oil once a year. It's only changed once a year, so that's pretty cool. Again, it depends on how far you go. It's either your 5,000 miles for this car. It's either 6,000 miles or 1 year, whichever one comes first. So this one's super easy, just waiting for the red light to show up, and then it's time to change the oil as well. So then I do have another tip for you. Always check your tires, especially when the weather changes. Check your tires. I believe when it's winter, the tires go down. They go down, right? So you need to inflate it to the right, the number of the pressure of your car. There's a number there, so it'll tell you that as well. So I do want to show you how to check the treads on your car. Ladies, maybe some brothers out there, we got to do this. We got to do this because we always have to change our tires, right? So this is the only, no, where did I put it? This is the only thing you need is a penny, right? Lisa's agreeing, right? Okay. So we're going to take this penny, right? We're going to take this penny. Now, the head is low, means you need to change your tire. If it is, if his head is hidden or you can't see it, that means the treads are good, right? So clearly, this tire needs to be changed. Clearly, it needs to be changed because I can see his head. So it's like pretty. It's a good example of what not to have, right? Right, guys. So yeah. So that's a trick there. Have your penny, and you can as well check your tires that way. And you always have to check your car at all times. Like it's always important to make sure that you keep that maintenance. So I'm gonna pass it back to you, Lisa. And if there's any questions, let me know, and I'll try and answer as much as I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Ate Care. Oh my gosh, that was actually a lot of really good basic information. So I think like both you and I, Ate Pauline, that we touched on like just the normal things, right? Like getting your oil check, making sure your tires are inflated, checking the treads, a lot of that, and like getting gas, right? Just simply
Yes.
getting gas. Like a lot of that is like, okay, it keeps your car running, it gets you from point A to B. If you think about it, if you don't think about those things, you're gonna end up on the side of the road. That's just what it is, right? And also like it could, I know we don't want to talk like negatively, but you can potentially hurt yourself, right? In a
Mhm.
car accident if you don't maintain these things. So that's like probably one of the biggest things that I thought about as Atikare went through her list of this is what you got to do. And at the care, when you brought up the penny, I immediately saw, like, I don't know if people have gone into like car dealerships or auto shops, but I've seen the penny example on a poster. So, like,
Oh,
word
nice,
for
nice.
word, when you mentioned it, yeah, I was like, I'm just picturing that poster and going, yeah, I know that. How come I don't, you just don't think of those things. So it was really nice. It was like a good um definitely a good refresher for me, and I hope that everyone out there who is like maybe you're getting your first car, and maybe you are going to be on your own and taking care of your car, and these are a lot of really good tips that we hope a lot of you have taken with you and can just go like, I'm going to go try the penny things because maybe my car does need maintenance and needs new tires. So there's a lot of things that you can do on your own. You don't have to wait for someone to do for you. So we are going to jump into our discussion. Right? We're going to have a few questions here to kind of talk about more about cars, right? So one of the biggest questions, and let's say this because it kind of sounds like again we're not as versed or knowledge in this topic.
Mhm.
But how did you get into cars? Like, let's talk about maybe the level of how much you care about cars. I think I'll start. Like I do like the aesthetic of some cars. I like the way they look. And like just and but like one of the things that really caught me was well not to compare was comparing the two cars. How one is like, yeah, you gotta check the dipstick for the oil. This car you don't. You have a light. And it's like how different that experience is crazy to me. And I just think like I got into cars more so to see the growth of technology integrated into cars. That's like what I'm fascinated about when it comes to them. What about you, Dr. Pauline?
For
How did you
me,
get into cars?
okay, I wish I was more into cars and I was more knowledgeable, but honestly, you know how like because in this day and age, especially here in Sacramento, you do need a car to get around. Like there are some cities that are more where you can just take the bus, you don't need transportation. But here because I do have to drive around a lot, I have had so many car issues to the point where I'm like, I need to know better how to take care of this car so I'm not just stuck in the middle of the road, like not knowing what to do. So I think safety, and trying to like be able to not rely on other people. That's the reason why I wanted to like know more about how to take care of my car. I take care. Thank you for that penny trick. Yes, especially when it's raining. Like, please, everyone, make sure your car tires are good. Like, you do not want to be skidding and hydroplaning like out there in the road.
Yes, yes. Especially here in Sacramento, once it starts to rain, you do have to be careful. Check your treads. It's good to change your tires every few years, just because it's especially if you're driving every day. For me, this car, um, it doesn't get driven very often because because the maintenance is pretty high, right? So we drive it out for church activities and for services and stuff. So that's what we use this car for. As this second car here is our play car. It's a stick shift. So of those who wants to learn stick shift, hey, I'm here. I can teach you how to drive stick. Super simple. Again, the maintenance you have to just keep going and continue to watch your car. And only you. And this is what I tell my boys. And I'm not into cars as well because I have I have five boys who are into cars, who love cars. They love the vintage cars. They like the oldie cars more than they do the newer cars. So they work on it all the time. So they're continuously um, always on cars. They're always maintaining their cars. They do their own maintenance. So you save on that as well. If you know somebody who can do your oil change, have them do it. It's a lot easier. It's a lot cheaper. It's good to have a good car that's actually running really good, especially with all the activities that we have. But again, also keep your car clean. Because again, if you know on the hot days in Sacramento, you open your window, and if your car is a mess and everything's flying all around behind you, you kind of get distracted, right? You want to be distracted when you are driving to wherever you need to be because you need to be careful as well. But yeah, back to you, Lisa, on whatever. If there's any more questions, if there's any questions, I'll try and answer as much as I can. I have the basic knowledge, but probably enough for those who are curious, right? So yeah, Lisa, go ahead.
Thanks, Dr. Care. No, today you were so prepared with all those facts. And again, it like brought me down memory lane of like, oh yeah, I remember this back in the day. And I myself unfortunately don't do a lot of those things. But like I think it's kind of I mean, what Pauline said too, what Pauline said, like, her car broke down a certain amount of time to the point where she was like, okay, I need to figure this out because I can't be stuck on the road, right? Um, so why do you think people have the belief that it's hard to maintain cars?
For me personally, when Care opened that engine, I was like, oh, and it's just like something super unfamiliar. Like I do not want to touch anything because I might break something. So I think that's the biggest like you think it's complicated. Like I think it's complicated, right? Like you have to have some sort of like knowledge, like you have to be skilled in order to be able to take care of your own cars. So that's my belief. We do have a question actually, Ate Karen, Lisa. There's one question that's saying, when is it? From Carlos Alvaro, who's there on our live chat. She's saying, when do you know it's time for brake jobs, like to fix your brakes? Ate Karen, would you happen to know, or
Me?
would
Oh, you want me?
Kuya happen to
Well,
know?
when you know that it's time to change your brakes, if you hear it squeaking, if you hear it squeaking or it starts to kind of slip, where you're trying to push your brake and it takes a long time for it to clasp, right? And you're pushing on the brake, but you're still kind of going a little bit, it means to check your brakes, because that means it is getting old, or the brake pads. It could be many of things. Again, I'm not a mechanic, but there's those things you do need to check as well, is especially the brakes, because you do want to stop on a red light. Right? And you want to make sure that you do check on those little things, because if you are the main person driving that car, you are the only one who will know the sound of your car. If there's a new sound that comes on, then you know there's something going on. Or if you know that there's a smell or a smoke coming out, then I think there's something that you need to check on that. I do have a tip as well, before I forget to tell you, that when you do wash your car, if you don't go to the car wash, and you wash it yourself in your driveway, a good tip is, do not use dishwash soap, right? Do not use the dishwash. It will strip your paint. It will ruin the paint on your car, and it's actually not good. So go ahead and get, I'm not, not advertising, but go get an actual car wash soap made for cars, and make sure you get the soft sponge so that you don't scratch anything on your car as well. But team live chat, if you have any more questions, let me know. I'll challenge your question. I'll see if I can answer that. So Lisa, Pauline, is there any more questions out there?
We have just a couple of just people commenting, like actually Ate, helpful tips from cousin Aida who's tuning in, and they're like, "Whoa, Ate care." So they're just listening to you right now, Ate care.
What was that,
I'm
Pauline?
impressed too.
What?
So I'm impressed. So at the care, yeah. So the live chat is just really they're very attentive right now. They're so grateful for all the knowledge you're providing, and so are we. So we feel the same, just like live chat, and we're so grateful that you were able to prepare those things for us. Um, I think well, at the care, I have a question. So how do you help someone kind of just get started and just be more open to learning how to maintain their car, like how you mentioned, like being able to do some of the small things, like putting air in your tires, knowing how to change oil, like how like what's the advice you would give for someone who wants to or should probably consider it?
Well, when you are when you're out going to buy a car, do your research on the car. Because again, if you don't do the research, and then there's things that you didn't know about the car, about certain cars, like newer cars, they are a little bit more expensive. The newer models, the maintenance costs a lot more. They need the upkeep, right? You need to do your research. Once you have that, and you still want the car, or you still get your certain car, whatever car you have, research it, and find out what it needs at every how many thousand miles. They're a little bit different, but they're a little bit similar. So a little bit of the newer, no, the older cars, it's usually 3,000 miles, or every 3 months is when you do your oil change, depending again how much you use your car, and how you if it's a daily driver, then keep up the maintenance. Because if you keep up the maintenance, your car will be in good condition, and it'll last a lot longer that way. Basic, if you know somebody who knows about cars, ask them to come over and say, hey, can you show me how to do this? Can you show me how to do that? Fortunately, I have 5 boys that live here in the house and are constantly in the driveway doing something with their car. I don't usually come out here except to come and tell them to clean up after yourself and get all that oil off the ground, Other than that, I'm going, oh, what are you guys doing? Oh, what's going on? And they have all these gadgets and stuff. And so I mean, the boys, they'll do their friends' oil change as well. Those who know when you do an oil change out on the shop, they are expensive. They are raising the prices. If you know somebody who knows how to do it or who likes to do that, have them do it. If they're offering, take their offer, because it's half the price of doing an oil change as well. But you know, you can learn. You can learn. If you have somebody that you know who loves cars, follow them and ask them. Just say, "Hey, can you show me how to do this? Can you show me how to do that?" They will never turn you down. They would love to give advice and help anyone that might need something. But if not, if you see the Shank Boys and their friends, ask them away. Ask them away. They'll do it for you. They'll do it for you, tax free. Tax free. So, so other than that, come bug my boys. They'll do it for you. They love doing oil changes as well. So find that certain person who loves cars and ask away. Ask away. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Okay, Kara,
Lisa?
we have one quick question, if you can, from
Sure.
Kaleva, who asks, how often should you check the tire pressure?
Checking the tire pressure, it should be every season. Every season. Because again, the pressure changes, and the temperature. When the temperature changes, the tire pressure changes as well. So you might want to check that again. Open your car door on the driver's side. All the info, all the numbers. It's a label, and it's right inside, and you can see the numbers on your tire pressure, and just follow that as well. Yeah, yeah. Wow, these are great questions. I'm so super excited that everyone's engaged and super interested. Even if it doesn't matter if you're a brother or a sister or young, old, or whatever you're out there, whoever is out there, it's great. It's great. Get your questions out there and ask. Just ask anybody. I'm sure the knowledge that I know, I'm sure there's I'm sure that um, that you know I lost my train. So if you're out there, ask away, ask anybody. It doesn't just have to be me. It doesn't have to be the boys out there. Ask away. I'm sure somebody would know even the basics as well. But thank you for the questions. Thank you. Lisa, Pauline.
That was so good. I'm just, again, today, again, it is like the topic is interesting. It's been around for so long. And I think you hit like a really good point about when you want to learn something new, right? And I think even learning about your cars, it's so important, especially have your own car. Like it's also an investment. It's an investment to get you from one place to another. You have to do it safely. And one of the biggest things in order to do it safely is just to know how your car is. What condition is it in so that you can make sure that you get to where you need to be. It sounds so philosophical in my head right now. Like one of the things that Abdikar mentioned was like, you have to take care of the things that you have. In order for it to last longer and for it to be with you for a long time, you have to take care of it. It's like another like analogy I would say is like a plant. Like, you can't just like leave a plant by itself and think it's gonna just thrive. It's not. You're gonna have to water it. You're gonna have to figure out how much sun it needs, how often it needs water. Do you need to put like fertilizer in it? Who knows, right? It's almost the same concept when you learn anything new and to take care of the things you have. So we're so grateful that all of you were able to tune in. We hope that you learned something. We hope we answered the questions that you had, to the best of our abilities. Again, go out there, go and like do some research for yourself, ask a friend what's going on, how do I do this, all of that. But unfortunately, we reached the end of our show. As always, come join us every Saturday. Oh, we do have Pacific, or we have daylight savings. So next week, our time will change. At the Polly, do you remember what time it changes to from
Yes. So
daylight
starting
time?
next week, we will be showing at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time.
There we go. Pacific Daylight Time, not Pacific Standard Time. We're changing to Pacific Daylight Time. So, again, we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope to see you again next week, every Saturday. So, get ready, get set, and get on INC Radio Sacramento. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Shout out to Dr. Care, our pro.
Hi, Polly. Hi, Lisa.
Thank you, live chat.
Thank you, live chat. We love you.
Maybe they want more card
Maybe
tips.
they want us more card tips, right?
Yeah.
Make sure there's gas in your car. Wash your car.
Thank you,
Next week,
Kuya, for the camera person. Bye po.
Bye,
You're saying
everyone.
bye.
We'll
Everyone's
see you
saying
next
bye.
week.
Bye. See you next week po.
Yes, yes. Or you could join in to Faith and Melody Monday through Thursday.
Yes.
Faith and Melody Monday through Thursdays, 9 a.m. Don't forget to change your clocks today, either tonight, spring forward, so you won't be late to all your appointments, your car maintenance appointments. Yay, we've got more time.
Yay.
Yay.
Is this an hour show?
I don't know, that's good. What else should we talk about? Yes. Oh, and also change your wiper blades. Every season, change your wiper blades because those get old as well. Oh, Korea Tex, are we ready to go?
Oh, na na na.